I am Adele Wolf. I'm coming from Oklahoma City in the U.S. And I'm on tour right now. I just came from Berlin yesterday.
What inspired you, your burlesque character?
Probably music is my first inspiration. I typically do very classic burlesque to rock and roll, or classic jazz is my big thing.
Donc sa première inspiration pour sa personnage burlesque, c'est de la musique. Et la musique jazz ou rock avec une burlesque très classique.
And now, what the style you prefer now? What the style of your act you prefer to do?
Very classic.
Very, very classic.
Yes.
Always.
Bump and grind. My burlesque mother is April March, who was performing in the Minsky shows and with Anne Choreo, all of the big legendary burlesque shows. Mm.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mais t'as dit, si moi je peux poser une question, t'as dit, you said burlesque mother, c'est-à-dire la personne qui t'a formé en burlesque, the person who trained you?
Or your real mother.
Or your real mother.
No. She did not train me, but we met, I think it's been about 3 years ago. She's also from Oklahoma City. Okay. And I've brought her back to perform, and she's our special guest at the Oklahoma City Burlesque Festival every year. And she allowed me to do a tribute to her in her original costume, using her music, her signature prop and everything. So I have permission to use her signature works.
Ah, yeah. Ok. Donc elle a parlé tout à l'heure de sa mère de burlesque. C'est-à-dire que c'est quelqu'un, elle l'a rencontré il y a 3 ans, et elle a la permission d'utiliser les outils et les styles de 7 autres personnes aussi dans les spectacles. Donc, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah,
I didn't know
no
what problem.
Yeah. And I can go to her for advice, and she will give me critique on my performances and things like this too.
Yeah. This is very precious.
Yeah, oh yes, for sure, especially with her.
Yeah, because it's not a lot of performers don't have this chance to have somebody to work with and to have advice and to have also experience of stage. Yeah, I think you're lucky to start and since the beginning.
No.
No, it's happened
only 3 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
3 years after.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another question. Can we say that burlesque is a business as another?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yes. I produce, perform, and teach burlesque. That's all I do for my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donc elle fait exclusivement burlesque dans la vie, c'est son business, son métier. Elle donne des cours, elle fait des tournées et tout ça. Donc elle gagne sa vie comme ça.
And what do you prefer to do?
Out of the 3?
Yeah.
Perform. It's the nicest. It's more relaxed.
Donc, performance, c'est la préférée de toutes les choses burlesques qu'elle fait parce que c'est plus relax.
And how long time do you do burlesque? Remember me? You said?
It's almost 8 years.
8 years? Wow.
Ça fait 8 ans qu'elle fait du burlesque.
And when you start, you were better in acting or dancing. What were your specialty?
Yes, I came from musical theater.
All right.
So singing, dancing. I'm also a musician. That was probably my first art form, was music, playing music.
Donc elle a commencé dans les comédies musicales et elle est aussi musicienne. Donc elle commence vraiment avec la musique et c'est ça les origines qui en fait transformé en burlesque.
And what are your inspiration? If you can give us a name of another performer that you love, would be maybe one famous or which one?
Well, I'll say my biggest inspiration in my whole life is David Bowie.
Oh wow!
La plus grande inspiration, David Bowie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both from a psychological perspective, like the way he thought about his art, and also aesthetic. Yeah,
of course.
Donc les deux côtés esthétiques et en termes de ses pensées autour des arts et ses arts aussi, c'est cool.
An interesting question. What the difference between a professional and I don't know if it's right word to say amateur?
Oui.
Yeah,
Amateur.
in burlesque artist. What is the difference?
I think probably the biggest difference is intention. So if you're coming to entertain the people or if you're coming to entertain yourself.
Donc, la différence entre professionnel et amateur, c'est si ton intention est de donner quelque chose à la public ou le faire pour soi-même. C'est ça la différence entre amateur et professionnel.
Ah, this is interesting answer. But don't you think you still keep the energy of doing for yourself also in a way of pleasure? You do it with pleasure, so you do it also for keep on your passion, and because you also love doing burlesque. I think.
Oh yes,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
but for me, coming from theater, when I began in burlesque, I had known about burlesque for many years, since I was 16.
Okay.
Like YouTube. And for me, when I started burlesque, I knew I was going to approach it like a profession, like I do theater or any stage performance. So for me, the audience is first. I want the people to feel loved and to enjoy themselves. And I hope that I enjoy myself too. But it's that's after. I'm second.
And do you think it's about... Oui, ça va pour la traduction.
Oui, ça va.
Vous voulez...
Tout le monde a
Non, ça va. And don't you think it's also about maybe having a beautiful costume and a lot of stresses? It's about that also? Or
Yes, but you know, I see.
do you need to have stresses on your costume to be a professional burlesque? Or
No, I don't think so.
no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you see, I think it's really about energy and connection with people. I have genuinely seen a burlesque dancer perform in a trash bag and be very engaging and amazing. So that was for a very like New York themed, like she's getting into show business. She had the newspaper fans instead of feathers. So it's very theatrical, yeah.
Donc quand même burlesque peuvent être
Bien
faites
sûr.
sans les costumes avec beaucoup de strass et tout ça. Elle a vu quelqu'un jouer avec dans un sac de poubelle et avec au lieu d'avoir les plumes, elle avait des pièces de journal et tout ça. Donc c'est tout à fait possible de faire burlesque sans les trop belles comme celui-là.
And so if somebody wants to be a professional in burlesque, which advice you will give to her or him?
The first advice is to connect to instructors, to find people that are teaching burlesque in your community. We still have many legends of burlesque that are alive, like April March, that still teach and are more than happy to talk about their life and what they know, which is a really great opportunity. We're one of the last generations that will really have that from the golden age of burlesque.
But do we need to go on school to do burlesque?
I think it's preferred, yes.
Yeah? You will say yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Because for me, I did not have that opportunity, which is why I created a school, because other people, they wanted that opportunity. And otherwise, you learn everything the hard way.
Yeah, it's a way also, actually.
Yes, yeah.
It's maybe harder, but it can be, in a way.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be.
I feel like having people that mentor you and can teach you, it sets you on a next step. So instead of starting at the very bottom, you have a good beginning, a good foundation.
Donc c'est très important de se connecter avec des gens qui connaissent déjà le métier, les personnes qui donnent des cours et aussi peut-être aller à une école pour apprendre tout à propos du burlesque.
And do you see a difference between burlesque in Europe and in US?
A little bit. The US is so large that really within the US you see differences. Like burlesque in my part of the country is very different than a lot of burlesque in New York or Seattle. Classic burlesque is popular everywhere, but in the coasts, like the East Coast and West Coast in the US, you can see much more performance art style burlesque, much more like daring and sometimes shocking even. And same thing here. Europe is so diverse too. Every country has a different culture, so I see very different things in Berlin than I would see in Paris, for instance. So it's really interesting. I think every city, the culture influences what burlesque is happening there.
Donc même il y a des différences en grands termes entre les États-Unis et l'Europe, mais aussi à chaque ville il y a quelque chose de différent, et surtout parce que les États-Unis sont grands, c'est très différent entre Seattle, New York et Oklahoma City.
Do you think that everybody can do burlesque? Like every woman and every man also, because there is a lot of burlesque. And do you think that everybody can do it?
Professionally?
I don't know.
Or just in general?
In general, can we be a burlesque dancer if we want, if it's possible for everybody, even if we don't have a body as a...
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's possible?
Yes, I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite students are just ordinary people that want to learn burlesque for their confidence or just to try something new. And one of my favorite things about teaching is seeing the development of them just in maybe 1 hour. From the beginning to the end, they feel like excited and beautiful. And I think burlesque is really great in that way.
Wow.
Donc tout le monde peut faire du burlesque. Et aussi, c'est intéressant de voir la transformation, même dans 1 heure, de la confiance de quelqu'un quand il commence à faire, soit une femme ou un homme, quand il commence à faire ça, ça change tout pour leur confiance et ils sont beaucoup plus à l'aise avec leur corps et beaucoup plus de confiance.
And the last.
They're good questions.
How does it feel to be a showgirl?
I love it. Some days I'm very tired. You know, you get off the plane, you go straight to the show. But I can't imagine doing anything else.
So you will keep going a long time?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
April tells me I'm a baby legend because she knows I will...
you will run a long
when
time.
I'm 80 years old, I will
really?
I will do it as long as I can.
You see you on stage when you will be maybe old?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even
That's
if I'm not on stage, I think I will always be in show business, even if it's producing or teaching others. Yeah.
Donc elle veut toujours être partie du monde burlesque, même quand elle a 80 ans, elle va continuer à bosser, même en tant que productrice ou professeur.